Hi guys, welcome to the Stina Show. Happy Thursday, as always. Like my new nails. This is the Pride episode, so we're gonna have a guest co-host, Jenny Formica, on. She's an actress, LGBTQIA plus, whatever. So we'll just wait for her to come on. How's everyone doing? Hey, welcome. So happy Pride. June 1st is the start of Pride Month. And let's see. I have some little facts and tidbits to share. This is big because I go to Stonewall all the time. But in 1969 was the Stonewall Uprising. It's in Greenwich Village in Manhattan. And it says, in the early mornings of June 28th, 1969, police raided Stonewall Inn for the second time in a week. It was a common occurrence back then, and LGBTQ were criminalized. That night, the crowd refused, however, and then they started clashing with the police. And then hundreds of demonstrators started showing up, and riots began. Jenny! I'm coming, Jenny! The Stonewall Uprising. And began the movement. Here we are.
Hello,
Jenny!
I'm being really professional and I'm grabbing a snack.
What you eating, girl?
I'm getting some strawberries, girl. Gotta get that red in the rainbow, right?
I didn't want to say anything. I feel like you have enough of the red going.
You know what? You can never have enough of the red going. Okay. This is where I get my red from.
Wow. Strawberries are the best.
Surprise.
Especially when it's warm out. Cheers. Oh, hey, Chef.
I'm gonna go sit with kittens and we can
Oh my God. Are they LGBT kittens?
They have, hold on, let me show you. They have Pride toys.
Get out of town.
Look at this. This one is a little rainbow meowmosa.
Oh my gosh.
How cute is that? There's more, but I don't know what they are.
They're little, right? I have cats. They have all the little things.
They're little, yeah. There's like a little rainbow ice cream cone.
How cute. How you doing, Jen?
This one.
You haven't really left because you're taking care of them, right?
I mean, I'm helping. I'm part of a group of 3. We take care of them together.
Really?
They're pretty cute. Come in here.
Oh my God. So cute. Who is that?
That's Creamsicle.
Oh my God.
Hi, Creamsicle.
Hi, cutie. Hi. Oh my God. And who?
S'more.
S'more. They're very cute. Oh my God.
I like to think they're both gay.
Look how little. Yeah, right. Oh, they're both guys?
Gay.
Yep. Are they? Oh, what are they?
Oh, they're girls.
They're girls.
We don't need to use lesbian.
Oh, please. That's part of why we're here to talk about that.
Girls can be gay.
That's true. Girls can be gay. That's true.
I think lesbian is just too long to say.
What do you identify as while we're on the topic?
Everything. I identify as I prefer the term queer. I like the term queer. But a lot of people don't realize what that means, so I'll just say I'm gay.
So what does queer mean?
It just means not straight. You know? It means like I'm not straight. Whatever that means, I'm not straight.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay. You know them?
It's my manager.
Had a huge conversation with my son about the word gay. Oh yeah, it's a big one to unpack. That word alone.
This is true. He's 12. Oh gosh. That's intense.
Yeah.
I had, when I was doing a lot of gay themed TikToks, I had a lot of like 12-year-olds asking me LGBT questions. Like I knew the answers. I was like, yeah. I suddenly had to do a lot of research. I was like, oh, I should know this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you and I don't put pressure on ourselves to know it because we're just what we are, and there's not really a word for it, right? But society makes you wear these labels like a friggin' tattoo on your face, you know?
It's so annoying. It's like, why do I have to label anything?
Yeah, no, I personally am pansexual.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that means?
I do.
It
Am I
says
supposed
that,
to? Am I supposed to?
I mean, I have the definition. I'll just read it.
Can I see how close I am?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
okay. So my understanding of pansexual is someone who likes any and all gender without preference, and gender doesn't really matter to who they like.
Yeah.
Exactly. Am I right?
In other words, yeah. It's sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction towards people regardless of their sex or gender identity.
There you go. Yeah.
Same thing, different
what I said,
wording.
clearly.
Different wording, right? Jenny, Google.
I think I sounded more educated.
You did. You were more clear and concise than the Google Wikipedia.
Clearly, I am more intelligent than the internet.
It's simple though. It's simple.
It
leaves no boxes, you know.
Max explained to me today. What a coincidence.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, and I am a they them. I'm gender fluid as well, which is
I didn't know that.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm admitting it to myself more and more every day. I wear the nails because I can, right? But I feel balanced. I feel masculine and feminine. Most of the time I feel kind of in the middle, you know? So I don't define myself by my image, you know?
I mean, my brain too is very much like, I was just talking to my friend about this like an hour ago. My brain to me is fine using female as, or woman as how I identify, because I don't classify it with, like, it's separate to me. So like I can be a woman and be fluid in how I express myself. Like, so like non-binary is fine, woman is fine. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know. I like wearing men's clothing, and I like the idea of a big princess wedding dress, and I like the color pink, but I like sports. Like, what?
Right, and that makes me what? And that makes me something that's bull. I mean, I mean, it's in the end, I guess it's physical and it's private parts. I would say, right, is what it comes down to. But then again, it's just a vessel we're born in. So what about the soul? So the soul and the vessel have to be identified differently.
Yeah. Yeah, and I separate gender from gender norms in my brain. So it's like things can be more feminine and things can be more masculine, but that doesn't mean they're more female or more male, even though they have those words like in them. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, and the other languages are built like that with masculine and feminine words. Yeah. So when you're speaking in a sentence, you can have a masculine and feminine sentence, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unless you're generalizing, and then it just automatically goes to masculine, into which I'm like, why?
Wait, hold on. Let the cat out. I have a cat too.
You have more than one cat. Don't lie. I definitely have male energy. Yeah, I feel that. See, I'm very attracted to androgynous energy. Like,
yes. And
I love androgynous.
People who are comfortable with who they truly are, right?
Yes. Yes.
Which is usually androgynous because they don't know how to identify themselves. So they just kind of accept it.
I'm confident because I'm in between. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I know non-binary people too who are super feminine. And so I'm always just like, so what does that mean? Because like if you identify non-binary but you only wear super feminine things, like it's so complicated.
Yeah, right, exactly. That for me, I wear a lot of male clothes, so
me too.
You know, I mean, I got
wearing male clothes.
I don't know. And clothes have a gender, right?
Yeah.
I hear a lot of companies now are making their clothing lines unisex.
I mean, as they should be.
I know.
Like, I get that, like, certain things are built more towards types of bodies. So, like,
Right.
I get, like, there's jean fits and stuff or whatever. But can we just talk about how women's jeans just suck?
There's no room for anything.
There's no room for anything. They always ride a weird way. They're either too low or too high.
I think that's one reason, like, what are they? Joggers became really popular.
Can't get enough of those.
I know, because they're unisex and anyone can wear them.
Yep.
And feel good.
And they have room for everything.
All, whatever you want, you put it in there.
All of whatever. Is that right, S'more? Do you like wearing unisex clothes?
Oh my gosh, S'more. They look very good. You're taking good care of them over there.
Thank you. I mean, Creamsicle drank water yesterday, so it's
Oh my gosh, I know what you've been going through with them. And I hope you get to keep one or two.
I would like that. I would like that. But
Please, God, listen to us. Let Jenny keep the kitty.
let Jenny keep the kitties. Stay with me. Yeah, so
I mean, you basically have them anyway. They're there so long.
they are, but they're not in my house. They're in my friend's house.
Oh, just kidding. Well, bring them
So
home.
my dad hasn't had to
I thought they were at your house.
mm-mm.
Oh,
They're
so
at
when you're on Amber's class, sometimes you're at another person's house. Wow.
Yeah, if there are cats or kittens around me, I'm not at my house.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Unfortunately. One's using the litter box. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. So I guess pronouns, we still, apparently there's so many.
Wait, there's
him,
more?
his. He, him, his, she, her, hers, they, them, their. And then the trans community has their own sets.
They do?
Like this, Z, her, hers, but it's spelled ZEHIRHIRS. And then XEs, I don't know how to pronounce that, XEM and XIRS. Those are trans community gender neutral pronouns. That's crazy.
Hold on.
I can't even say it. I can't even say it.
1 second. Hey, Mallory, could you come help me with the kittens for a second? Sorry.
Go ahead.
One just used the litter box, but it's a very messy situation. You can continue. I apologize. Oh, don't step in there.
The cats are like, I'm a they.
I'm a they. I'm a they. Call me a they. Oh, you're just gonna walk everywhere now. We're doing well.
So when did you know you were LGBTQIA+?
So that's like a complicated answer. There was just like a, yeah. She literally was like, sorry, this is not the conversation you wanted to have. I just was sitting here and I was like, looked up and I was like, what's happening? It might be on her as well.
Oh.
Anyway,
I have cats, that's cool.
Yeah, that's true. You do. You get it.
Yeah, I do.
So, complicated answer to that. I didn't start thinking I was until college because to me, everything I thought was normal, like common. So,
wow.
I had feelings for girls, but didn't know it was feelings, and obsessed over female celebrities, but thought everyone did. I was like, yeah. And all my friends were in love with like men, and I was like, yeah, same thing. Amanda Bynes is clearly a man. It's in her name, Amanda.
True.
Can I look at you? But yeah, I didn't start thinking it until shit. Sorry.
It's all right.
I didn't start thinking it until college, and then I started thinking like, oh, okay, I'm bi. I think I'm just bi. And then it wasn't until like really a couple years ago where I was like, oh no, I like girls a lot more. Which you can be bi and like have a preference, but which is why I use queer, because I'm like, maybe, who knows?
Right. You don't shut your heart, and that's a good thing.
Can I have you, please? Yeah, exactly. So
Because the moment you shut your heart, you'll probably marry a man, you know, so it's
right, exactly. And then everyone's gonna be like, well, where'd that come from?
right. And it's
Be
like, I don't even know.
I don't even know. I can't explain anything. What about you? When did you know?
Look at you.
Stop. I am wiping a baby right now.
Oh. I don't mind talking to the
messy.
fan for a minute.
Great. Talk to the fan. Here, I can put it more here. You can see my face.
Okay. Well, I know I had a crush on my babysitter, you know, when I was like 6 or 7, right? Like we all do.
Oh, yeah.
And Brooke, shout out. Mom's watching, she might know. But and then I was 15. I dated guys from like 13 to 15, just like dated, you know, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then at 15, I met my first girlfriend, and I was homophobic against myself. I had a very hard time admitting that I was with her. I would tell my friends all these crazy things. And then I finally got over that. It took like a year to get over that shit.
Yeah.
And from then on, I just realized that I would only connect with that female energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because here I am all these years later, and it's like I'm not married with children, you know what I mean? And I've had many, many opportunities, you know? So it's time I look inside and be like, well, maybe this is just how I'm made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to I don't control my, you know, I make choices, but I don't try to control my life to the standard of culture, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'll accept who I am. And I do love men, and I love, you know, people, and I love all energies, but I go after these people to date. And that's just what I do. And I can't really, I don't want to do anything else.
Do you ever go, snort. Do you ever go after, like feminine men? Since you're like into
That's a good question. I just become best friends with them usually.
Because like, you had said you're pansexual, so I just always question, like, because I'm not, like, gender and sexuality, sex have like a huge thing to do with how I like who I like. So I've always wondered that, like, with.
It's a great question.
Pansexual.
I'm not physically attracted to them, no, but my spirit loves them.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, no, I don't go after them for sexual endeavors, no.
Yeah, I just like, I remember as a kid, like being so enamored by women, like just like, but never girls my own age. So like all of my crushes were on boys. But then right. Yeah, like I only had crushes on boys. And like, then I got into high school and I still only had crushes on boys, but they were like a lot less. And all the people I talked about were like the female teachers.
The gym teacher, like,
right? Yeah. No. Not my school.
Our school had those.
Oh God, yeah. And then like same thing in college. It was like I would say I had crushes on like a boy. I'd be like, oh, Alex is so cute. Oh, he's so hot. But then I'd be like, I'm gonna go see Rachel every single day.
I love that name, Rachel.
And talk about her for hours at a time. Wow, I really just outed that I had a crush on Rachel, and we're friends on here. So,
if you're watching, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Hope
Are you single, Rachel?
Rachel's married with children.
Oh man.
To a man.
Come on, Rachel.
I think she figured it out anyway. I'm sure she knew.
Well, you know, everyone has crushes on the hot teachers.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have a crush on one guy teacher in my time. Well, that's a lie. Okay. I had a crush on 2 guy teachers. One of which was my physics teacher in high school. And that was like a legit crush. I thought he was just so cute. But like you said, I'm only really attracted to like feminine energy. So like even if I think a guy is attractive, it doesn't go past that.
Yeah, right.
Like at all. Like it's like, okay, I can appreciate his physical.
Right, exactly.
But then nothing.
Isn't it weird?
It's so weird how that works. But then the second one I had a crush on, was my 7th grade history teacher, who I didn't have a crush on. I just was watching a show where the girl had a crush on her male teacher, and I thought you were supposed to. And so I would buy him gifts.
Oh, how cute.
At like 11 or 12 or however old you are in 7th grade.
How cute.
Yeah. It was a great time.
But that's why you're right. And that's another reason I say I'm Pam, because you see, I haven't connected with anyone like I've connected with these women, but I can't close my whole entire being to connect.
Right.
Because what if this person is trans or, you know, or whatever?
So I have a question for you then. This is a complicated, we're going to get into it. This is your interview that I'm interviewing you now.
I have the tea.
I used to think that, I learned this through being on TikTok and having people ask me questions. I used to think that being bisexual meant you like men and women, and like you can have a preference, but it's just men and women. And that pan meant you like all. Then people were like, that's transphobic. And being bi means you like all genders, you just have preferences, and gender and sexuality or sex matter. Versus being pan, you like all, but it doesn't matter and you don't have a preference. Would you say that's true?
It's very
you identify as pan, so it's like, would that be true for you?
I'm on dating apps, right? And when I swipe, I really try to stay open. Because there are, you know, guys that sneak, I'm on a gay app, by the way, guys that sneak on, and then there's trans. And some trans are really good at transitioning, I guess. If they're attractive, I swipe right because I want to try new things in my life, you know. That's also, I think, part of sexuality is like the more open you are as a person, the more you we shouldn't even have to identify if you're just like a completely open person, you know what I mean? So I guess it depends on the person. I don't know, it's tough.
Well, yeah, I know, that's why it's so complicated. It's like, that's why labels are so challenging, because it's like, I just want to be able to like who I like. Whether that right. person has a vagina or a penis.
Yeah, is that okay? Right?
You know, like, I don't know. I mean, for me personally, like, genitalia is a big thing. I'm, like, not attracted to male.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah.
So that's a big thing for me, is it's like, okay, like, I have no issues with dating someone who's cis versus trans, but where in their journey are they, and are they going to be transitioning that part of them? Because that matters to me physically. I don't care what you do in your own personal life if I'm not dating you. Like, I support whatever the hell you want to do.
You know, that's a huge question right now, because a lot of people are coming out as trans, and it's like, for you and I, like, we're not used to that. It's like, what you don't think you would, if you met the right person, you don't know. Maybe.
You don't know. Yeah.
If you'd accept that person.
I would like to think I would, but at the same time, I'm such a picky human being.
Yeah, no, I am too.
I'm like, I don't even want to date someone who doesn't fit what I'm looking for in every other aspect, let alone.
I know, and that's why we're single, Jen.
I'm like, oh, forget your genitalia is the last thing on my mind. If you don't have this hair, this eye, this face shape, this personality, this interest, then
if you're not Kate McKinnon.
If you're not Kate McKinnon, get the hell out.
Kate McKinnon, if you hear us.
I had someone tell me, they were like, we just need to find you someone who looks like Kate McKinnon. And I was like, no.
She's special. She's special.
I don't want someone who looks like Kate McKinnon. I want Kate McKinnon.
Well, you got that. I think she comes probably to LA sometimes, you know.
I think she does. She probably has a girlfriend.
Probably, but you never know. People break up and get together all the time.
She does have a thing for redheads.
You guys write her. You can't really. Fans don't. That doesn't work. You can't write her a fan letter.
Dear Kate, I'm madly in love with you. You've never met me before, but I'm madly in love when we're getting married. Don't be afraid.
Don't run.
Don't run. I'm coming for you.
I won't hurt you. No. Oh, interesting. So I guess casting, we could talk about casting a little bit in LGBT.
Sure.
QIA plus, you know.
I know what you meant. The alphabet mafia, as they say.
Yes. I know there's more, and then there's more.
And that's the, I was designing something that said I identify as the plus sign.
Really? That's cool.
Right? Like, why
But
not?
as long as there's a rainbow, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
No, everyone's going to be like,
Are you a mathematician?
I'm the division sign?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you think, I know casting is making more of a big deal about it right now. I mean, I'm LGBTQ, and I mean, I haven't worked in a long time, so, but, you know, but
I feel that.
I think there's, yeah. God bless. By the way, everyone watching, we are actresses if you want to hire us.
We're not trying to seem needy or anything, but pick me, choose me, love me.
I don't know. I feel like they are opening the doors to LGBTQ, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And I don't know. I feel like they should do more open calls or something, you know, because there are still characters on TV that are not, that are still playing these roles, right?
Yeah, and then you get in the conversation of like, okay, well, where is the line of like actor versus character? So it's like, the way I always look at it is, as long as you are hiring, you know, LGBT plus people in your shows, then I don't care who plays who, right? So it's like, if you hire a gay man and he's playing a straight man, and then you hire a straight woman but she's playing a lesbian, I don't care, because you're still hiring those people.
Right.
And you're still portraying those people. It's just like, and I feel the same way about cartoons, like with everything, with literally everything, whether it's gender, race, whatever. It's like, as long as you are hiring and portraying, I don't care who is who. It's like,
and portraying's huge, because there's shows I'm watching current day, modern day, that don't portray it. No. As nearly as much as the representation. Yeah. Half, more than what, 1 out of 10 people is identifies that, and this is an old statistic. You know? I think it's more now. It has to be, because it's the gates have opened, you know. Yeah. This was a while ago. I'm dating myself. You're dating yourself? No wonder you're single. Yes. Well, I'm not, when my split personality. This half is dating this half. Yeah, it's the Jewish half is dating the Christian half. But yeah, you know, and I like that point of view, if they're portraying it. Yeah, because I've always said that about redheads too, since I'm such a big thing with redheads, and it's like, as long as you aren't actively casting against us or like not including us in your casting, then I don't care who plays who. Like, the issue is when you don't cast these people and then you go and cast, like, I don't want to say it's the same thing. It's not the same thing, and obviously I wouldn't know anything about this because I'm white, but like, if you're gonna cast a white person to play a very historically famous Asian person, that's like not okay. Like, crazy. That's just not okay. I don't know who ever thought it was okay. No, and I was just like, what? Like, what? A lot of people got behind that too. You wonder how much power that one person had over these minds, right? It's just like so insane to me. It's like, so the way I look at it is, it's like, you don't need to go out of your way to have a redhead storyline, an Asian storyline, a black storyline in every show. You just need to be hiring these people. And if being that race or that whatever, that minority is important to the character, then you hire someone who is that minority. But if it's not, and it's just part of it, then you just make sure you have those actors in the show. Like, you have Asian actors, you have black actors, you have white actors, you have redheaded actors, you have whatever actors. It's like, that's when it's important, is that you make sure you're including in the casting. It doesn't mean you have to go out of your way and be like, well, now we have to have this storyline about being this thing. It's like, right. And the same thing with being gay. It's like, why can't you have a lesbian character where being lesbian isn't part of the story? They just happen to be lesbian. Like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And
why
then
can't
that defines them even more, right?
yeah, like there shouldn't. I would love to see, like, again, like when Modern Family had Mitch and Cam, being gay was brought up countless times, and I would like to see a thing where Mitch and Cam are no different than, you know, Phil and what's her face,
Claire.
Claire. There you go. The one I have a
Okay.
crush on, the one I forgot the name of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Claire's hot.
Julie Bowen.
Can get it.
Wow. Wow. That is
Everything
your
about
type, though, obviously.
her energy is so hot.
She's very confident lady.
She is. I'm into a confident lady.
Who isn't? Shit.
Yeah. Men.
No. Not all men. I see them eyeing us on the streets.
It's just true. There are a lot of men who appreciate a confident lady.
Yes.
And then there are a lot of boys who don't.
That's true. That's the maturity level.
Yeah.
It's different for all.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not very mature, so.
Well, there's women who feel that way about women too. It's
yeah. It's true.
Whatever they identify as, I don't know, but
yeah. At this point, we should all just be like vessels. Like, we shouldn't even have like any sort of pronoun or anything. It should just be like, I'm talking about that body over there.
we should all have like non-binary names.
Yeah, like we should have, I don't want to say like numbers, but like alien names where it's just like a bunch of random letters placed together and like sound like nothing it looks like. But
like AEONI.
Yeah, and that's how you know you're talking about Christina. It's like, and then AEO and I said.
It might be the future, you know, right?
God, that would be so much work. You'd have to memorize. Because, like, that's the thing. Pronouns generalize. So I could say, like, oh, I was talking to Ryan. And then, or, like, here's where it gets confusing.
Right.
Here's where the they, them gets confusing, too. If I'm saying, oh, I was talking to Christina and Ryan. And then they said that they're coming to the party. Who am I talking about? Am I talking about Christina, who identifies as they, them? Or am I talking about Christina and Ryan, who said they're coming to the party? Because it can be singular or plural.
So it's there then, it says here.
It's like,
no?
It's
you would
there.
say there. THEIR, maybe. It says they, them, there.
Oh, so then it would be like there as in THEIR is coming to the party. But then that would have to be, you'd have to see it. If I just said it, you wouldn't know how I'm spelling.
Yeah, because they're coming.
There's
What's
there.
Who's there?
Who's there? So like then it gets confusing because it's like, okay, they said they're coming to the party. Okay.
Right.
Which one? And so it's like the argument that they is plural is not 100% wrong, but it's also not 100% true.
It says the sources of the singular they are as far back as the year 1375.
Yeah. Well, because a singular they exists. If I said like, oh, someone left their jacket at the party, should I give it to them? I'm talking about one person.
But these people maybe identify as a they.
As a they. But in context, how do you know? It's all about context. If I just said, oh, I was talking to Christina and they said this, then you know I'm just talking about Christina.
Right.
But if I say I'm talking to Christina, Ryan, and Madison, they said they're coming.
So these definitions maybe should have been a little more clear for the English language because it's going to kind of mess up our structure in communication, right?
Yeah. Which is why I wish we could separate gender from the actual word where it's like I wish there was a way to say like she means you look and identify feminine and he means you look and identify masculine, but it has nothing to do with who you are as a person.
Oh, it is purely physical.
It's just purely like
identifying.
So then it's like if I was saying, oh, I was talking to Christina and she said this, or I was talking to Christina and he said this, it wouldn't matter. It's just like at least then I'm talking about one person. I don't know. It's so complicated.
I'm a she. Right. It's like, what kind of soul are you, right? That's the question.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm a she soul. I'm a he soul. I'm a they soul.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, you can be a he soul, but a she body. So that when I say she, someone knows who I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter because you identify as whatever else.
Right.
It's so complicated.
It's so
like, Gender is just such a new.
Well, the problem is people get offended. So it's like, you can't get offended. This is going to take many years for society to even adopt. We're working on it. We're doing it now.
Yes. And we don't even know if they, them, their, whatever is like the best term. Like, who's to say 10 years from now, they're not like, oh my gosh, why didn't we think of it? This is the term we should have been using the whole time.
It's hard. I know a person who transitioned when I was working in Albany. I'm not going to say their name because I like them. I respect their privacy, you know. But
if I didn't like them, I'd out them.
And they were a she turning into a he.
Mm-hmm.
He was whatever. He's a he.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew he was a he for as long as he was alive, blah, blah, blah. He was always a he.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just looked like them, whatever. And had the parts. And I met them kind of like in the beginning of maybe a year into their transition. And they had to like stop their medicine or something. And they stopped growing into a male, and they were kind of in this in-between phase. So I saw this person as a she, you know. I know that they identified as a he, but I still saw that
process.
So I would have a lot of trouble when I was speaking about them.
Yep.
Or speaking to them even. And he was used to it, you know, unfortunately.
Well, I'm doing it to disrespect you.
Right.
I'm trying to mentally make the effort, and sometimes I forget.
Right.
It's like I'm not doing it to be rude.
But you know what? Now they're actually on the testosterone, the T they call it, and they're doing swimmingly, you know, and they look like he is a he. And now if I see this person again, he's a he.
I should say it's a he.
It's a he. Well, it is, because it's just the subject we're talking about. But he is now a he, and he looks like a he. He even posted like he's getting less remarks about, you know, and God bless them because they found their way.
Well, which sucks too, because it's like there's some people who just can't get access to hormones, or for, like you said, medical reasons can't take it. And so it's like, it's so hard because like you said, it's like I want to respect them and they go by he, but they look like she. And so I mess it up. And it's like, you know, 3 generations from now, it's going to be different because people aren't going to raised not using those terms. But when you're raised using those terms, you have to completely reprogram your brain.
Yeah.
And conscious, you know, like Elliot Page, for example.
Right. Congratulations.
I refer to him, boy, like, you do you, great. But I still slip up and will be like, oh, she, or oh, Ellen Page, because in my brain, Ellen Page is a girl who identified as a lesbian and like who I know from Juno. And so I have to like remind myself that like Ellen Page was always Elliot Page inside. I just didn't know. And so it's like now I have to completely switch that train of thought. And like I personally was like almost sad. I was like, I felt like we lost like a lesbian icon.
Well, she let a lot of people out of the closet, which is cool. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying with that. It's like there are not many that are out in Hollywood.
There's not.
And now there's less. But trans need more powerful voices behind the movement anyway, so.
Yeah, I do often wonder too if, you know, like I've always been someone who was born into a female body who like was like whatever.
Who what?
I was like someone who was a female born into a female body who was like, cool, my body does what I need to do, great, like here it is. So I don't know what it feels like to be born into like the wrong body. But I often wonder if gender wasn't a thing and we didn't associate gender with specifics, if trans would even be a thing. So like, if we didn't associate being a woman with whatever we associate being a woman with, would trans even be a thing? Or can you be a woman and it's fine because you are able to, you know, cut your hair and whatever. And it's like, how much of that is body type and how much of that is like what we associate with gender?
Well, right. If we were all gender fluid from birth, who
then
would be switching over?
It wouldn't matter what's in between your legs or on your chest because we're all just, you're either a being with boobies and a penis.
And guess what? Some men have boobies. And, and hermaphrodites, right? Well, they're born with.
Yeah. And there's intersex people who are born with one externally and the other internally. And so it's just like, in reality, we're all just people. And the only thing that gender and sex should matter for is like medically speaking. Like, that's really the only time it like matters is
right.
like, what medically does your body need?
Right.
But
So then that's a whole nother subject of surgery, because people go to great lengths to become another sex.
Yeah. And it's just like, I just wonder how much of that is associated with, like, me personally, I've never wanted to have, you know, boobs. I've never wanted to have large anything. I like flat everything. Like, I don't want curves. I don't want hips. I don't want boobs. Like, I just want to be
Stick.
And so I'm like, you know, that's why I like, there's something in my eye, sorry.
Okay.
That's why I like being, like, I love androgynous bodies. And like, if I could afford it, I would love to go and just be like, not completely, but like very small. But I still identify as a woman. So it's like, that's so complicated.
And why is that a problem? Right.
Exactly. And it's like, and I honestly probably only identify as a woman because like, that's what I was told I was, and it just worked. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm non-binary. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, now that I think about like my photos growing up, I looked like I was a tomboy.
Yeah.
So I always looked I looked androgynous until I started growing into like my woman self. You know what I mean? I guess until puberty hit, essentially.
I was so opposite.
Really? Oh yeah, in photos I can see that.
Yeah, I was a little girly girl. I mean, part of that is like my parents dressed me in dresses, and I was like, yeah, sure. But like, I was such a little girly. I loved pink and glitter and dresses. And then when I got to an age where I realized dresses mean you can't sit with your legs open and you can't run as fast and they are less freeing and all of that, I was like, well, screw, I hate dresses.
Yeah, forget that, right.
Like, as a kid, they're great. You're open and it's great. They twirl, they're fun. Like, and that's why I think, you know, you look at being a child and how they're like, there's boy toys and girl toys and it's like, no, there's not. Like,
right.
Gender identity really doesn't start until you like realize what gender is, because gender identity isn't a thing, or like gender isn't a thing. Like, there's stereotypes of like men lean more towards liking cars, and honestly I think it probably leads down to like how much testosterone was in your mom when she was pregnant with you, like
yeah, to choose that path for the baby.
You know,
right.
What hormones were you exposed to in the womb? That's what I think it all comes down to. Because it just makes sense. I mean, why else is my brother gay and I'm gay and like we have the same birth parents, and like, I'm not saying all siblings are going to be the same thing, but like it just would be interesting.
I personally want children.
Same.
You know, I know that, and that's another thing about the choices we're making, because these aren't choices. These are just how we feel about things. These are internal wants and needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you and I identify as LGBTQIA+, and I feel like if I don't say it, I'm going to get in trouble.
LGBT+.
L+.
L+. The real important one there is lesbian. No, that's it.
And we want children, right?
Yeah.
With a partner that can help us take care of them.
Yeah. I think most people who want children want that. I wouldn't say all. I mean, obviously there's people who want to be single and aren't into that. But like, I've even had friends ask me like, are you asexual? Because I'm just like not into the idea of being with someone sexually. Like, to me, that's something that just happens to come with a relationship. So like, I'm into the person, being around the person, cuddling with the person, loving with the person, like raising a family with the person, like that kind of stuff. And sex just happens to be something that like would be part of that. So like,
throw it in there.
And I was like, I don't know.
Well, I don't even know. I've heard the term asexual for a long time, but what does that really mean?
I mean, it's a spectrum like anything else, but it basically just means someone who has a lack of desire in sexual things, so they can still be romantically attracted to someone and want to do things like date and have cuddle time and have a family, but they're just not like into sex. But I think a lot of people misunderstand asexuality and think it means you don't want a relationship, or you like, you know, because it can mean that, but that's also aromantic. Like there's all these terms, and it's
Right,
just,
right,
why does it even matter except for who I'm dating?
right.
Unless you find someone who is like you. Someone just said that. I missed what that was for though.
That was for like when you're asexual, maybe you find someone else who's asexual.
Yeah, exactly. And like they're out there, and like for me, and because it's a spectrum, so there's going to be people who are asexual who they just do not want sex. They want to find someone who also doesn't want sex. And then there's people who are asexual, or like me, where it's like, I don't seek that out. I don't have the desire, but it's something I would do with my partner if they wanted it, you know?
Yeah.
I know it's being that I'm single and don't.
Yeah. No, trust me. I think you might want.
You don't trust me. You're missing out, girl. You're missing out.
No. I'm not gonna judge or say anything, but I just feel that way, man.
Yeah, we've had those conversations.
We do more offline, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's silly because one of the main questions on Google, I Googled asexual. One of the main question is, how do you tell if a girl is asexual? Meaning a guy's probably trying to get with her, right? But they're Googling, why aren't they having sex with me?
Why aren't they interested in me?
Isn't that terrible?
And asexual.
So crazy.
It's like, well, your girlfriend might just not want to have sex with you.
Yeah, you just accept it, move on.
Oh, man.
You know, that's what you call settling. I know a lot of people who settle.
This is honestly why we're single, because we won't settle.
Yes, exactly. For everyone out there who's settling, don't do it. I mean, being single sucks, but if you're true to who you are, you're going to be more happy, and down the line, it's not going to haunt you.
Yeah.
So Jenny, you and me, stay on the path, stay on the true path, and guess what? One day we will find love, and wherever it is, and we won't regret being ourselves. You know, some of these people. Let me just talk about straight girls for a second.
Okay.
As you know, because in my many years of being single, I tend to I'm drawn to them. And guess what? Many of them have later come out. Later, not when I was around, of course, right?
Huh.
And now they date women, right? So,
wow, that sucks for you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like my heart does not lie to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know my feelings. I know these people might identify as that, but when someone and I have a connection, I know what it is. You know what I mean? And that's just it. And that, I believe that goes for all sexes. If you have a connection with someone, you have to pursue it, even if it's a friendship or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where it's going to lead. And it could lead them to introducing you to someone, you know? And I just feel like, especially for like girls that identify as LGBT, we have these struggles because it's a limited pool we have, and there are types. You and I have types, and when our types, you know, it's just hard. It's very difficult for you and I, and that's why we're single.
I feel like gay men, are given more opportunity to meet other gay men.
Right.
So it's like there's so many gay men bars where there's like lesbian night
at the gay bar.
At the gay bar, and then it's like they have Grinder, and it's like we have like Her, but it's just like I feel like gay men, one, are given more opportunity in more places, and two, they're like, if you look at the stereotype of a lesbian versus a gay man, it's like gay men are usually more interested in meeting more people and exploring and going on dates, and I don't want to say sleeping around, but like sometimes, you know, men in general are a little more promiscuous.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Naturally. Well, that's how they're built. They're built physically.
Yeah.
You
like
know, that's
there are obviously promiscuous women and all of that, but like
right.
Generally speaking.
Yes.
But then you look at like women, and like the stereotype of a lesbian meeting someone and like getting married within like 2 months is like real. Like,
U-Haul is real.
U-Haul lesbian is like the amount of times I've been at like a lesbian night or a lesbian event, and everyone there is with their girlfriend or their wife, and I'm like,
yeah,
how am I ever gonna meet? How are you all? How did you guys all meet? Like, I don't understand.
How do they meet? Right, that's what I said. I said, your friend.
Like, it just, what? And so I laugh because I remember I was in WeHo, West Hollywood, for anyone who doesn't.
I love West Hollywood. We're going there when I get to LA in July.
Yeah, we are. And hopefully things will be like.
I don't care. We're going there anyway.
Everything's closed. We're going to WeHo. And it's like the predominant people of WeHo are gay guys.
Yeah.
And it's like you find the token lesbians, and they're all
dominant. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or they're, I hate to say it, butch, you know, butch is a thing. It's just not, there's, you know, I guess it depends. It always depends on the person, and that's the problem. It depends.
Well, and also it seems like, and I think this goes for gay guys as well, a lot of the time they like opposites. So like someone who's more butch with someone who's more femme and all that, like to be together. And I'm someone who's into androgynous and also dresses and styles androgynous. So like I need to find someone who's also into that, who also dresses and styles like that. And I'm like, oh.
Or you need to find, I think for me, I've only been in 2 like longish relationships, but we were like opposite in personality, which helps because we balance each other, you know. But they were both femme people, but I think the personality has to be opposite, or you know, complemented in some way. You can't be twins.
No,
that won't work.
You can't be like too different, and you can't be too similar.
Right.
There's a happy medium of finding someone. Like there was someone I was talking to for a while, and just like very physically attracted to them, but we were way too different. Like way too different. It's like there needs to be some overlap there of like person. Whatever.
You have to have something to talk about.
So I bring back McKinnon. I'm gonna you know, swing it back around and be like, Kate McKinnon is perfect for me.
No, yeah, she's funny, right? You like funny.
I love funny. I love
confident.
I'm like, great. She's all those things. And I hear she's like pretty introverted naturally, which I love because I'm also introverted naturally, but someone who can be extroverted.
But I think that's all performers, no?
Yeah, that's pretty true.
So you just want a performer?
Yeah, I just really want another another performer. It's true. I feel like I'm always attracted to performers, which is just probably a bad thing.
No way. You see all these successful couples out there. I'm jealous of them because I think you can, you know, like they're not gay ones necessarily, but there's like Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard and Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, and
that's true.
You know, the famous couples, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you just hear more about the famous divorces than you do the famous couples.
Well, who knows how? Well, you know, Hollywood's not easy, so for those people to even still be together is a feat.
Yeah, it really is. I really respect them. Kristen and Dax have been one of my like idolized couples. Like if they can make it, like they give me. And if anything,
which means they can't get divorced because of people like you.
No, I had. I'm not gonna say who, but I had one other Hollywood couple that was like, "That's my ideal marriage." Like, I think that they are like what it.
I know who.
You do?
Chris Pratt and Anna Faris.
Anna Faris, yeah.
I was right? Yeah. I got it. I don't know how I knew. I know you like comedy, and she's funny.
Yeah, I really had like, I was like, oh, they're just so great together, and like, I want to find that, and they just make sense. And all of a sudden, they're like, we're getting divorced, and I was like, well, Love has no meaning.
Out the window.
Kristen and Dax, it's all on you.
That's it. Oh no. Oh no. God bless. There's other couples too.
There
Like
are.
Goldie Hawn and what's his name?
I have no clue, Goldie.
You know who. I know who. Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, look it up. Tell me, because I don't.
Goldie Hawn. Kurt Russell.
Oh, I did know that.
They've been together a long time. And Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. You know, they're people. But that's why we talk about them, because they're far and few between.
I don't like to talk about happy people. I only talk about sad.
Divorcees only.
Yeah, that's so true. Now I'm thinking like there are a lot. I look at oh my gosh, who was I gonna say? There was someone else who was like married for a long time, and I can't think of who it is, but
Ted Danson and Mary.
they're another one, yeah. Mary, whatever her last name.
So now I'm blanking, but I know it.
I know who you're talking about. She's in everything.
Shoot. Mary, her name's Mary.
What is her last name? That's the Sturgeon?
Yes, yeah, that's why. Steenburgen. That's why. It's
Steenburgen.
a hard name. That's why, right?
I was close with Sturgeon.
Sturgeon, you were close. Oh,
Yeah,
Michael J. Fox.
His wife. Trying to think. There is one though that I was thinking of that have been married for a long time, and I don't know if it was like Harrison Ford or someone like that, but someone who's older, and like they're like, oh yeah, they've been together for forever. But I couldn't tell you. I'd have to look it up.
Let me know. Text me later.
I will. I'll let you know.
So we have a few minutes. I just want to give a shout out to Marsha P. Johnson, because she was known as an outspoken advocate for gay rights and one of the first prominent figures in the Stonewall Uprising of 1969.
Hell yeah.
This is her picture. Have you ever seen what she looks like?
I have not.
She's very special.
Wearing a flower crown? Hell yeah.
Yeah, right? My computer's in the freaking way.
Yeah, move that.
I'm trying. You say that? Yeah, this is like her famous photo here.
Wait, what does it say below? Marsha P. Johnson.
American actor.
Born also known as Malcolm Michaels Jr. Oh, so she's trans?
I self-identified drag queen and gay liberation activist.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's, I know
cool.
that.
Yeah, no, she's huge. She's basically known to have started the movement with the few people who did, you know.
Yeah, and I know there's a book coming out that's featuring gay couples from 1850 to 1950.
Wow, how cool.
It's called No, I can't. Darn it. I was gonna try to like minimize this to look it up, but
I'll look it.
article by Google Upworthy gay couple 1850. It'll probably bring it up.
Yes. Upworthy. Hugh Nini and Neil Treadwell, the past 2 decades, scouting flea market, estate sale, and online auction for the photographs.
Oh, I was like, that's not it, but I guess it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. But that's cool.
Yeah.
You want to say a few last words to the people who may be not sure about coming out?
Oh, to the people who are not coming out. Yeah. I think that like, because I used to get asked all the time on TikTok, when is the best time to come out? What's the best way to come out? And I'm like, there is no best time or best way. It's like, first of all, what people need to understand is coming out is a lifelong thing, because we live in a heteronormative society where everyone thinks you're straight until you say otherwise.
Right.
Like, you know, there is no best time. The best way and best time is like whenever is safe and good for you. Like, there's no other way. Like for me, coming out to like my family has basically just been like, with my dad, it was basically me just talking about hot girls and him figuring it out. And like with my mom, I only came out like 3 weeks ago.
Wow. Fresh.
Fresh.
Mine is more than half my life ago. So
Yeah.
I,
Fair.
I bet, but it, you know, it's wasn't easy, as I said. It would take a lot of self-hatred to get through that.
Yeah.
But once I realized that I was open, that's how I consider myself. It gets better, and after all these years later, I'm finally like, oh, it's cool. Like I didn't care, which is weird. I never cared,
Yeah.
but now that I have more alone time to reflect, it's like, wow, maybe I was just born this way, right?
Yeah. As Lady Gaga says. Yeah.
And that's what and that's who and that's it. And there's no label. Fuck the labels.
Any like young people who may eventually see this, just make sure it's safe and that you have a place to go if it doesn't go well.
Yes.
That's my thing. I don't want you to like come out and then you're screwed.
Follow your heart, but protect yourself.
But protect yourself. Yeah.
Jenny, you're the best. Thank you. I love you being my co-host. You're my first co-host.
Oh wait, I'm not a guest. I'm a co-host.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's even better. No, I wouldn't let you ask me questions if you were not a co-host.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm honored.
Thank you for being my first co-host.
Yeah.
And next episode, we'll talk about our misery for not working.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Does that sound good? Thank you, baby girl. I'll see you in a few weeks in LA.
Yes,
That is, see you. And then, yes. Oh my God, they're cute. But tell the babies, give them kisses. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny girl.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you later. Love you. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Margaret, Javier, Ben, Miss Katz, Jesse, Joe. I see you, Baker. Thank you, everyone. I see you. Enjoy your Pride. Stay safe. There are a lot of events this month if you want to support and celebrate. And next week, I'm going to have a LGBT couple, a mom with a baby, come on. I believe Robin Yurcha. So, and she's in the Navy also. So thank you again. Meditate, breath work. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Okay, love you. Bye.